Consider this your spoiler warning for the Curse of Osiris campaign. If you've yet to complete the campaign and do not wish to have it spoiled for you, please turn off the video now.
This is our new beginning. The maps are blank. The rules are gone. All we know is we must become more than what we were.
With Curse of Osiris being the first paid DLC for Destiny 2, its addition of a new story was the area I was most interested in. You see, I found in previous DLCs and expansions for Destiny 1, the campaigns were a bit of a mixed bag. I found some to be excellent, like The Taken King, and others fell a bit flat, like The Dark Below. So when the DLC launched a few hours ago, I jumped into it and just headed straight for the campaign. I've yet to try out the new public event, Strikes, Heroic Strikes, Adventures, or the Infinite Forest post-campaign. This is just a review of the campaign on its own, isolated in a bubble. So with that being said, let's get right to it. The campaign opens with narration over images, as is tradition at this point. Ikora Rey's on duty this time around, and she mentions how everything has changed since the Red War. The rules are no more, and Guardians have to forge a new path forward. We then transition to the cinematic that Bungie released as a trailer for the DLC. Osiris and Sagira are travelling through the Infinite Forest. Osiris sees a startling image of the future. The pair are attacked and Osiris throws his ghost through a portal in an attempt to save her, but she is shot on her way through and seen. Sometime after Ikora Rey has summoned the player to a private meeting, she mentions how Vex activities on Mercury are on the rise, the disciples of Osiris grow restless, and one of her agents has discovered Sagira's comatose shell. She then asks for your help.
When I lost my light, I didn't have anything else. I was empty. Then you came to Io, and you helped me find my way back.
Well, thank you for saying that, Ikora. You know, out of all the Vanguard leaders, I always saw you as a true friend.
I need that friend again, Guardian.
That's the way things are, aren't they? You only ever compliment me when you want something from me. Like, seriously, I'm a busy guy. Could you not get another Guardian to do that?
That was a joke, right?
That was a joke.
All in all, I really enjoyed the opening cinematics. What happened with Osiris, along with the events of the Red War, really weigh on Ikora. She's lost some of her confidence, and it shows. She's still trying to find her place in a universe that she thought she had figured out. But with Sagira in hand, the player flies off to Mercury to figure out what is going on. And oh man, finally getting to set foot on Mercury was awesome! Oh, it's a moment in time that I had imagined for over 3 years at this point. Sure, we've had some Crucible maps, but like this is something totally new altogether, and I was hyped going into the first mission.
There is a Vex gateway near your location. Osiris spent years studying it. He was convinced it was the door to the Infinite Forest.
So the opening mission consists of you making your way to the entrance of the Infinite Forest, fighting Vex along the way. The first thing to note is how visually stunning Mercury is. Bungie have created another beautiful world for you to go looting in. The soundtrack is also a winner, which is kind of tradition too at this point. It has an Egyptian minor key theme, which I really like. The geography of Mercury along with the Vex technology gives the level design a feel similar to Nessus, but it's a bit more claustrophobic. It also sees the terrain change constantly around you. It's a step up if you ask me. Gameplay-wise, it's the same as the base game, so whether that's a good thing or not is entirely up to yourself. But one final thing to note is that at the start of the level, you see various patrols of Vex moving across the map. This ties directly into what Ikora said about increased Vex activity on the planet. I was so happy to see it. Too many games, including Destiny, have this bad habit of using dialogue to build up a story but then never show you the interesting bits. It's simple but effective. Don't simply tell us, show us too. Video games are primarily a visual media, and fair play to Bungie for adding this small detail in. Keep it up. When you get to the entrance of the Infinite Forest, you discover that the barrier blocking your way cannot be opened. Brother Vance contacts you and orders you to bring Sagira to him. But before you can get there, you are ambushed by Descendant Vex, dark figures from the broken future. They are essentially the typical Vex you fight, but they're a darker colour and are shaped a little differently. While I appreciate the aesthetic difference, I would have liked to have seen some new enemy types, if not some new tricks from the victorious Vex from the future. Anyway, you fight your way to Brother Vance, concluding the level. Brother Vance is found in the lighthouse, and it was nice to finally make my way there after all these years. He reopens the lighthouse and instructs you to go to the European Dead Zone to find a bunker of disciples. They will be able to revive Sagira. I won't say anything about the foundry, as that'll be for another video. Also, if anyone could tell me how to access this chest, I would really appreciate it.
The coordinates Brother Vance gave us are just beyond the village.
Hawthorne scouts surveyed that area in the Red War. There's no temple there, just an old radio tower.
From this point on, the analysis of levels are going to be a lot more brief, and you're about to see why. You fly to the European Dead Zone and take what is essentially the same route as that taken Strike from the base game. I wasn't bothered by retreading old ground, and in fact the level was a lot of fun, but I had two major problems with this level. Firstly, while I had a blast riding around on a pike, there was just too many of them lying around. I know they were there in case a 3-person fire team ran the level, but at no point was I ever concerned about losing my pike, because I was never far from a new one, or 2 or 3. Same problem as the tank level in the base game. This contributed heavily to the second problem. The level was too damn easy. Bungie, I love it when you change things up for levels, and I did have fun, but don't be afraid to challenge the player base in these vehicle levels going forward. When you reach the hidden bunker, you discover that the Fallen have slaughtered all of Osiris' disciples within. I liked this touch. I always found our Guardians won too often without taking enough losses. You place Sagira into a module and she possesses your ghost. Wait, what? Zavala was right! Osiris can't be trusted! Give me back my ghost!
And don't worry about your ghost. We're sharing right now. He'll be back.
That's hilarious. Arguably the most interesting thing to happen in the campaign, and is immediately cut off with all tension removed. Oh, anyway, the game takes you directly back to Mercury to enter the Infinite Forest. It's a sight to behold when you first enter, with some nice exploration and platforming. There you meet reflections of Osiris, duplicates he can create of himself. The reflections take you on a tour through time in what is easily the highlight of the whole campaign. My jaw was on the ground when we were shown the past where the Vex first invaded Mercury. This right here, this type of visual storytelling is exactly what the Destiny universe needs. More of this, Bungie, please. After seeing the past, it's time to see the dark future. No light, no darkness, only Vex. But before you can get too uncomfortable, you are introduced to the big bad of the campaign, Panoptes, and man, what an entrance! Creative visual design, intimidating figure, even Osiris is afraid of him. With your trousers freshly soiled, you run away, escaping the forest and end the level. This is my favourite level Destiny has produced. Long, but not too long, with a nice mix of combat and storytelling. This level is the standard of which I will hold all other levels in Destiny going forward.
If nothing else, the Vex are methodical. They'd have a schematic of the forest, a map, and that map will show where Panoptes is.
At this point, the story slows down significantly as you spend the next 3 levels looking to find and decode a map with Panoptes' location in space and time. It's mostly retreading familiar locations, but I did enjoy playing these standard Destiny 2 levels. How much? Well, about this much. Never gets old. These 3 missions end up being for naught as you're unable to find Panoptes' location. Some video game cliches will never die. This is where Ikora Rey gets the idea to use the Infinite Forest to travel into the past and find his location there. You re-enter the Infinite Forest, and this got me worried about the game's post-campaign content. You see, the first time you fight your way through the forest's hub area, it's cool. It's something you have to do to gain access to the 3 time portals, but after only entering a few times through the campaign, I was already fed up with it. Hopefully it's not something you have to do every time you enter the forest going forward. Anyway, back to the story. You fight your way through the visually stunning past, up a tower to a pretty cool boss fight at the top. After you defeat the boss, you discover the coordinates you desperately need. Unfortunately, Panoptes shows up and takes Sagira captive. This sets the pieces of the campaign's climactic finish into place.
This is it. Whether it's us or Panoptes, someone's future is ending today.
With Sagira exorcised, your ghost has returned to normal, but he doesn't remember what happened. You bring him up to speed by verbally explaining to... No, I'm just kidding, of course. You return to Ikora Rey, who decides to accompany you to Mercury. Not only is Osiris in danger, but the whole universe too. I'm glad to see members of the Vanguard getting involved directly in the fight. You meet Ikora by the entrance to the Infinite Forest, but it's sealed shut, and only Sagira can open it. Well, I guess we'll just have to... Wait a minute. Ikora, can you fly?
It's open, but unstable. Go! I'll hold it open for as long as I can.
Oh, that is epic! What the hell is that? Okay, Ikora, you've been holding out on me, and we are definitely going to have a talk when this is over. Anyway, so you head into the Infinite Forest, blah blah blah, and you make your way towards the showdown with Panoptes in a pretty good boss fight. He's not your typical Destiny bullet sponge, he has different mechanics and damage phases. It does look like he has you beat, but Osiris makes the save, and together you take him down, reclaim Sagira, and reunite Osiris with Ikora. Just long enough for them to reconcile before he heads back into the Infinite Forest to keep the Vexed threat at bay. But he will be there for us, should we ever need him. Well, there you have it, Curse of Osiris. A fun campaign that, while yes it was short, about 3 hours long, I was expecting it to be that length, and I enjoyed it for the most part. The Infinite Forest hub world between timelines got a little repetitive, and the story did lull a bit in the middle, but outside of that, the story was intriguing, the characters were well presented, Ikora's probably my favourite Vanguard leader now, sorry Cade, and the game is always a blast to play. I'm going to give the campaign for the Curse of Osiris DLC on its own 65%. Thoroughly enjoyed it, there's fun to be had, definitely not worth buying the DLC solely for the campaign, but we're going to have to see how the rest of the content outside of the campaign pans out to see if it was all worth it in the end. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. It is super late here. I'm bloody shattered playing through the whole campaign and then doing this review. If you appreciate my hard work, please like, share, especially subscribe, and talk to me in the comments. Let me know, what did you think of the campaign? Anyway guys, I'll see you around in the next Destiny video. Cheers.